What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Booth Podcast. My name is Ken, along my co-hosts
Dom
and Sarah.
And today's a pretty special episode because it kind of relates to where we are. So let's go straight for it. It's our 2-year anniversary for the Booth Podcast. We don't have a button, but
We do. It's the red one. It's the
red.
Wait. Put the volume up a little bit. You gotta put the volume. Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's an intro song. Well, I think it's yellow. It's yellow. It's yellow. Sorry, it's yellow.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our 2-year anniversary episode. In addition to that, just get it straightforward. So you see the shirts that you guys are wearing, and in fact that I am wearing as well. You know,
Let's get the Superman.
hold up. Let me turn. Actually, one of you guys turn. I have to take this off.
Right, I got you.
So we've anticipated this drop for a minute now. So it's the very, very funny placement. So for those of you that are viewing right now, on the back of Dom's t-shirt, it says, "Love yourself," followed by, "You deserve peace, you deserve love, you deserve happiness, you deserve kindness, you deserve respect, and you deserve better." That's the shirt that we dropped. Dom, you can turn around unless you want to stick there, but that's completely fine. But yeah, we just recently dropped this on Project U. It's one of our projects that we're actually working on, right?
For a while.
So if you guys want to go cop a shirt, link in the bio. We have limited stock, so make sure you guys go purchase now before it gets sold out. You know.
Yes, and also at the end of this podcast, we will be announcing the lucky winner for the shirt. We did do a giveaway, and again, we're very happy that a lot of you entered, so thank you. But yeah, so
this was one of the things that we mentioned earlier, how we have a couple of things planned up. This was one of them.
just one of them.
Right. And yeah, so I know you guys are here for the episode, so let's go straight into it. So the topic is called How We Deal with Change. You guys think change is scary? Like, be honest.
Yes.
Change is always scary.
Why
Whether
is
it's-
change scary?
Whether it's good or bad, it's always scary.
Some change is unknown, and the unknown is always scary for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think I remember reading that most human beings are scared of what they don't know.
Mm.
And so that applies to whatever change in your life because, you don't know what's to come, right? Like anything that'll unfold is like out of your comfortability
Fair. That's a
and
fair
your
point.
regular day to day. So, yeah.
So yeah, this topic is about change. I know many of you guys have gone through that in your life, good and or bad. Life, love, relationships, a lot of things change. Now, when you're in the midst of changing, do you think you need to take time to reflect on what you're doing or like what's happening with the world? Because change comes pretty quick. So what do you think you should do? Or,
What do you think you should do when things are changing?
yeah. Like one thing that I do, I take time to step back and like reflect on like what's happening right now because it's just so much to intake, right? It can be like a drastic or small change. Let's say a change can be like, you just broke up with your girlfriend or something like that, right? That's a big change in your life because that came out of nowhere, right? Unless you read the signs and you saw it, but I don't know, man. But yeah, one thing that I do is actually I reflect on what's happening so I understand how I'm gonna adapt to the situation, right? So let's say I get a new job. Now I gotta adapt to that, meaning like, okay, now this is my availability. This is the time. This is what I can do during the day. This is the days I'm able to like chill with my friends, like do the podcast and anything like that, right? And it's just like reflecting also like your own feelings. And I think reflecting is like generally really, really good because it creates self-awareness.
Yeah.
Self-awareness during change is very important because if you don't know you're changing, you kind of lose yourself and you lose this perception of who you are now. You think you're still the past version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
What's the first things you guys do whenever you're like reflecting? Like,
For me, so like one of the recent changes was when I got my job, like my full-time job. And that meant like letting go of my old self that had this free time and I was still working part-time. And I remember being like so scared and overwhelmed because I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was like all new to me. And I knew that the next day everything was going to change. I was so overwhelmed that I set a timer for 5 minutes and I just like cried.
Why do you set a timer for 5 minutes?
So so this is a 5-minute rule. Basically, because I know at that day I still have to get my homework done. I have to like, I would have to package orders. I have work. So I set a timer for 5 minutes, and within that 5 minutes, I let it all out. I cry, I scream, I do whatever. I say everything I want to say and get it out. And by that 5 minute, when the 5 minutes is over, I like stop because like I have to be productive. But the 5 minutes is like well needed in order for you to like release everything, but then still be productive. And it did help me. So when I was overwhelmed, I did that, and then I got everything done.
Have you done that or anything similar to that? A 5 minute rule? It's like my first time hearing about this.
I do like 1 minute of just whatever negative thought I have. I let it all out, because at the end of the day, you're always gonna have. I feel like you're always gonna have bad thoughts when it comes to things changing in your life. Like there's always gonna be the back end of your brain going like, oh, what if this happens, or what if this doesn't work out?
Yeah.
So at least I get to voice that instead of like letting it build up in my own heart. And so I would give myself like a minute of just like writing it on paper. So just so like once it's on the paper, it never gets out. Like that's it. That's what I did around like the big changes happening in my life. I don't need to voice it out again. All the big changes that happened in my life, I would like journal it throughout my day and like the progress that I'm making. So cause like I feel like once a lot of things just kind of hit you very quickly, you have a moment of like, oh shit, I need to process what I'm going through, because your brain becomes like scrambled in a way, and you're like, how am I going to adapt to this, and how am I going to overcome it? And so you would have to also like acknowledge your own feelings by writing that down and then tracking your progress, as you go. That's what I do, at least.
I kind of like the 5 minute rule. I've never done anything like that because for me, I'm so used to like working and like kind of burning myself out, right? So I'm like, that 5 minute rule, it sounds really helpful, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I guess my alternative to that is just like, I'll see what the problem is. Like, hey, you're doing this wrong. And just like, let's go head on to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I kind of want to implement that. But like,
it doesn't have to be crying. Because for me, I'm just a very emotional person.
Fair. I mean, even if I wanted to, I don't think it could come out, to be honest. But I think I should start implementing that because I keep everything to myself, even when I'm stressed. So I guess that's a good way to like release a lot of your stress. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah. And after the 5 minutes, you're just like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I can't cry. Like it's put to the side. Yeah.
I think my alternative to that, to like, it's like, it's my version of ranting, or like the 5 minute rule.
Yeah.
I'll go on my spam. I go on my close friend's story. I start ranting. I did that a couple of days ago, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you're in college or university, you know how stressful group projects can be, especially when like another person isn't exactly participating, or just like
they're not on the same wavelength as you.
Yes, they're just ass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be straight up, bro. Because I've had, for the 3 years I've been in school so far, I've had a lot of. Well, no, this year alone, I've had a lot of shitty group members, and like because they're not like my friends, it's like I can't voice that to them.
Yeah.
Right. So I have on my story. I rant for as long and just
God.
let it out. Like, yep, fuck this dude. He fucked me up. We got a 6 out of 10. 60%.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you didn't. You did not tell me the grade.
Yeah. But anyways,
It's bad, man. It's okay.
yeah, I'm gonna start doing the 5 minute rule. If you guys haven't done that, I guess you should start implementing that. And yeah, but
reflecting in any way is also just great to like. I mean, that's why people recommend a therapist, because you get to. A therapist can like reflect onto you, like, oh, maybe this is why you're doing this, and so on and so forth, right? Initially, like just being able to see things from a third person's perspective.
Oh yeah, third person thinking. Right? I do that,
and just like being able to release it is super important.
Sometimes things just happen. We're just faced with a lot of changes. Can you plan ahead for change?
I do think it depends on what sort of change is coming up, like just a random one. But for example, if someone got pregnant, that's a big step in your life, and you can plan and prepare.
I mean, you got 9 months, so yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can plan and
months.
prepare. But there are also cases where you can't, but you have short time limit to like, at least like say what the worst thing is going to happen. And so that way, when it happens, you're ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So like whenever I go,
Like worst case scenario.
yeah, yes, worst case scenario. Like I did a lot of worst case scenario whenever I was about to step into an exam prior because I didn't study enough. So I was like, I just, I would go, okay, I'm going to fail and then probably get disowned by my parents. But that's all that's going to happen. I'm still going to be alive. Like, it's okay.
That's just the Asian life, man.
Right. But like, that's, in some cases you can plan ahead. Like if you're about to like go into university or you're, I don't know, you're about to take this big test, for example, like a driving test.
Mm-hmm.
You can sort of make like plans ahead to like prepare for that moment and also for any like backup plans for if anything goes wrong initially.
Yeah, but what about like in terms of like relationships or like just life in general? Do you think you can like plan ahead of that?
I feel like it depends because you don't really know what can happen. Like you don't, if it, like for a relationship, for example, you don't have control over what the other person's gonna do.
Yeah.
Like with jobs, it's like you don't know if you're gonna get hired. Like these are things
Or
like that
fired.
are not or fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these are things that are not in your control, so you can't really plan for this. I mean, like for the job thing, like planning ahead, as in like having an emergency, like money in case you get fired and you have to pay bills. But like, what are you gonna do? Like when your significant other breaks up with you, like what, have another person on standby? Like you're not gonna have that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless you do, then that would be cheating. But
Yeah.
I can see it as two ways where I kind of lean. It's weird because I think of both where you can plan ahead in the sense where like, let's say it was like relationships, right?
yeah,
So obviously you don't know who you're going to meet and whatever, but once you meet them and you talk to them whatsoever, in a sense, the way I see it is like calculated risks.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes,
let's say you're
yes.
talking to this girl, right? Whatever, getting to know her. You can't just judging off the vibe or whatever. You kind of know what to say, what you shouldn't say, what to do, what not to do, right? So that's already essentially planning ahead, right? Now let's say it's in terms of life, right? Let's say you apply for a job,
yeah,
right? You can plan ahead. So that, let's say you haven't gotten an answer back, but that doesn't mean you can't apply for other jobs.
yeah.
And
that's
whichever
true.
one you land, you can already plan ahead from that, right? And also, the other side is where you can't anticipate change because it's always constantly changing. So my advice for that is like you can't anticipate the change, but you can adapt to the situation.
Yeah, adapt.
Right? That's what I do more often, where I adapt to whatever's happening because I never know who I'm gonna meet, who I'm gonna talk to. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Like, I have a gist, but like I don't know who is gonna come by in my life, right? So literally, I adapt to the situation. I make friends with the people, right? Let's say if someone comes in, I make friends. Like literally today, right? I didn't expect to make friends with the customer today,
Really?
right? At work, like we had like a 30-minute long conversation just talking about like fashion, school, being creative.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And if he's watching this, yo, respect to you. Forgot your name.
Shout out to
but we follow each other, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like adapting to this current situation at hand because you know you can control whatever you're doing at that present moment, right? And yeah, it's like I see it both ways, where you can and can't, right? I lean more into the can't because the more you think way ahead in the future, you're like thinking this is the right answer.
Yeah.
This is the path, but like there's so many paths.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't plan for everything.
You can't plan for everything. So I lean more into that. Like, bro, Dom and I 2 years ago did not expect to have a podcast. We literally had our conversations in a fucking booth in the McDonald's near us. That's literally it. And then we turned into a podcast, another one called Gray Space, which fell through, but that's completely fine because without that current last experience, it showed us the joys of just talking, creating this, just like having a nice conversation, right? Because we're just like, literally what we're doing to you guys, just like telling you guys our lives in a sense, right? It's a documentation.
It's a journal.
Exactly. And now it's like, yo, we have 1.3K subscribers, right? We have a new co-host. We did not think this was going to happen. We thought it was just going to be like me and Dom till the end, type of thing. And we're like, yo, Sarah's a pretty chill person. Yo, we should probably add her into the podcast. She has good opinions.
And then they met me and they're like, oh, she's crazy.
Yeah, she's a red flag, guys. Remember,
Kids. This is how we met.
I'm joking. But yeah, it's like this changed. We never thought it would happen. And that's the beauty of change, in my opinion. Because change creates beauty because through pain, through fault, whatever, in the end, it works out.
You got that. That was great.
Exactly. Yo, I should be a poet. Holy shit, I've been ranting for like the past like 5 minutes, dude. God damn. I'm sorry. Anyways.
I think when it comes to planning ahead, you could definitely plan for certain variables to play out in your favor, but you can't plan for how it's going to impact you, like how you come out of it.
Yeah.
You can come out of it like based on how you feel. For example, like even though my family, we had expected whatever outcome was to come with my dad's condition, no matter how much planning, no matter how much prepping, we did not expect the impact that it had on our family. And that just goes to show that change is inevitable, and whatever your journey is, it's going to happen. So you, even if you try to as much as possible to anticipate for the next step or what future lies ahead, whatever happens is going to happen. And
Yeah.
that brings us to the next one, where it's just like, I guess, like learning how to embrace change as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super important. It's like, yes, you could plan for whatever. You can try to manipulate the end goal, the end destination, but whatever that end destination is, it's really out of your control, essentially. So good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
What do you guys do when things are changing?
When things are changing in my life, I reflect on it first, but I kind of just like enjoy the fact that it's changing. It's like good or bad. It's like, okay, this was meant the way I think of it, everything comes as a lesson. You need to go through certain shit in your life to really like develop yourself a little more, right?
Yes.
So when things are changing, I'm like, okay, this is a good thing. I know it is, even though right now I may feel like shit. I know it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
In school, I am drowning in work. I fucking hate it, but I know it's a good thing based on the lessons I'm learning.
Quote unquote.
I mean, cheating. Sorry.
Whoa, we don't condone.
Whoa, we not that cheating. I condone cheating on tests.
We don't condone
Right.
cheating.
Connected to the Bluetooth.
Oh, I'm not. Sorry.
Yeah. We condone cheating on tests. Anyways,
What?
I'm joking.
Okay.
Only if you're online and you're stupid. Anyways, that's me. But yeah, like cheating tests. Yes. I'm drowning. I'm back to it. I'm drowning in work. Although it sucks, I know it's gonna help me in the long run in my marketing career.
Yeah.
You just gotta see past like that gray area.
Even just like having the bad experience of the guy that you were working with in the group assignment, it's like when you're in the workplace or like whatever you do, you're gonna encounter people like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's like
I hope I don't counter him again.
Yeah, but like you getting to deal with how he is now is just gonna help you when you deal with it later on. You're like, I've done this before.
Yeah. See, the only difference is I can't see the dude. So
Oh.
so that's like the only difference. But I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those situations where like you have to embrace change and really adapt to it later in the long run. You may not see it right now. It really helps with your development and character. Like a good example is probably like breakups, where a lot of people, when you're in breakup, you're very clouded in misery. You see everything in like red, in a sense, right? So obviously you get that feeling where like
Red is also love.
Yeah, but you get the red I'm seeing, right?
Bull, like a bull.
Yeah,
Yes.
red like a bull. And in a sense where it's like you feel like you can't find love again, you'll never like get back to that. But then like you're saying that right now, just because everything's red, right? But in the long run, you have to like tell yourself like I will find love again.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've had my periods of loneliness where I fucking like tell myself, yo, I'm never gonna find love again. No one's gonna like love me. I'm never gonna be in a relationship. But then I always reassure myself like, dude, you're just kind of sad right now. But in the long run, in the future, you will get married, you will have kids. So I reassure myself and be aware of that. I always tell myself the good part at the end, so I can like stabilize and humble myself and like ground myself a little bit.
Humble myself.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when things are changing, it's hard to kind of think positively. I tend to think of the negative side, or I tend to worry about the things changing, and like I don't know how to handle that.
I rely on because we watch a lot of How I Met Your Mother. I'm going to do that again. Yes. Ted initially in the show, he's always narrating to himself of like little lessons, and he just talks about the universe. And I feel like having some sort of blind faith always just like kind of like placebo affects it.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to go like whatever I'm dealing with, whether you guys believe in this or not, like whatever I'm going through, like God has something better planned. I think there's a verse, Romans 8:18, where it's like whatever bad thing that you're going through right now, it's not greater than what God has like lying ahead of you. And so it's like you got to be able to just kind of like thug it out, you know, and just like keep doing the best that you can, because good things will happen to those who wait and those who do good, right? So it's just like you got to blind faith, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, like just hang on, just hang on a little longer.
I didn't realize I do it a lot, right? And it's gotten to the point where it's to answer your question, basically tying in with his is the way I do it is because I felt like a little lonely, like for like my life, I would constantly like just talk to myself and let's reassure myself and tell myself all these good things. Because why would I want to? You know how like us like humans, we tend, or when in our thoughts, we tend to like lean more into like the bad.
Yeah.
The bad thoughts, like, oh, you'll never be this. If you can believe in that, why can't you believe in the good things you can say to yourself? If you believe that you can find someone better, or you can become a better version of yourself, you can get that job, or even land this position, whatever it may be. Why is that so hard to believe in? Right? Like, I understand why it could be hard. I know I just contradicted myself. Don't get me wrong, I know, but it's just that I lean more into that type of advice or that type of wording because it's more reassuring than saying you'll never get the job, right? Instead of like you'll find a better job, right? That's more like the positivity side where you kind of gotta like be your own cheerleader sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because your friends aren't always gonna be there. So at the end of the day, you have yourself. The more you reassure yourself and give yourself more positive advice or whatever, it's like you learn how to like be more uplifting, right? Because everyone wants to hear like I'm proud of you. You're doing great, whatever. Say that for yourself, right? And you can just keep going and believe more in like the blind faith, because that's very reassuring.
Yeah, having just like blind optimism for yourself.
Yeah,
right. Like, I also tend to do the like Kobe mentality, where it's just like if I just keep doing what the successful people are doing, I'm gonna get to a place of like certainty of like, oh, at least I'm in a way not completely guaranteeing my chances, but like I'm upping my chances at success, at happiness, in a way where it's just like you get to control the narrative. I did quotes for those listening on Spotify. I did air quotes, but it's like you can kind of just increase your probability.
Yeah,
right. Like, of course, not always is gonna go your way, but at least as long as you know that you're in pursuit of like that excellence, then you can achieve that. Versus when you just, of course, you think pessimistically, then of course, then it's gonna go downhill, right? Because essentially, you're just worrying about it twice.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I like that you mentioned that, because literally, I would worry about something before it happened. So, okay, I'm gonna touch on my breakup, but essentially, essentially, what happened was I knew it was gonna happen before it happened. And I was already crying about it before it even happened. So essentially, I'm putting myself through the suffering twice.
Yeah.
And what I did was I actually did a 5-minute timer crying about it. And at the end of the MacBook video, because it was a MacBook video / timer, I was like, why am I worrying about this? It hasn't happened. And I told myself that. So then eventually when it had happened, since I grieved a little bit already, I was like, kind of okay, but obviously still not, because I was crying about it.
Like you softened the blow a little bit.
Yeah, but like don't suffer twice. Don't put yourself through it unless it actually happened. Like why should you suffer twice? Like you're gonna suffer later, or maybe you won't. Like what if that person doesn't break up with you, or like what if it, you actually get the job? Like why are you crying about it now?
Yeah. Just to touch, because we're talking about like love a little bit. So I didn't realize I suffered twice.
Ooh.
Right. This is my first time actually hearing about like suffering twice thing, right? And it all made sense because like before I would basically what I'm hearing is like we're self-sabotaging ourselves, so we can, the way I saw it, I self-sabotage myself prior to something happening or ending something, because it's easier to like soften the blow in the end. So I'm hurting myself intentionally, so by the time I actually do get hurt, it's like doesn't really hurt as much. I mean, it still hurts, but not as much, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's like a little better. it's very bad, very toxic.
Yeah.
I would not advise you guys to do that.
I feel like that's such a like distancing yourself or like doing that is like obviously it sucks that you're doing it, but it's like to protect yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And it's because like I want to think of all the possible situations.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know what to expect. Doctor Strange.
Oh my god.
That shit hurt my head.
That hurt my ear.
I'm so I forgot I hate spinning, bro.
Sorry to the listeners on Spotify.
Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit.
Anyways, in regards to like back to the point of like kind of looking at the negative before it even happens, I like to think of like this one driving lesson that I learned from my instructor, where I'm like, I'm like, I feel like I'm too close to the curb. Am I gonna hit it? And she was just like, if you keep looking at the curb, you're gonna hit the curb, right? And I asked my mom too. I was like, how do I fix that part of me? And she was just like, just look forward.
Yeah.
So in a way, just focus on the road, right? Just like look ahead of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like instead of looking at what can go wrong, look forward to what can go right.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bring yourself to that place.
And then you actually take
Yeah,
the right.
don't focus on the other stuff.
Right.
Sorry, when you said focus on the road, I immediately thought of like that SpongeBob clip. Focus on the road.
With
Focus on
with
the
the
Focus, yeah,
what's
like
her
it's like
name?
hypnotizer or whatever, Mrs. Puff.
Yes, Mrs. Puff.
Just focus
Mrs.
on the
Puff.
road. Just focus. Sorry, that episode's prominent to me.
But yeah. Oh, and you know what? How Am I Your Mother reference? You remember the episode where Marshall had to go back to New York City, and it was a blizzard, and he was just like, so is gonna recap this real quick. Marshall was he was on the road going back to New York City, and it was a blizzard. It was a snowstorm, and he always wondered how the hell did his dad like make it through on a night like this. And his dad in his conscious was saying, I didn't know where I was going. I just kept moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's essentially like one of the greatest like pieces of life advice that you can get is just like no one knows what the fuck they're doing. No one knows where they're going. All they know is they just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like you just no one will know. Like no one will know. Everything is inevitable. At this point, I feel like from point A to point B, your life's kind of like
That's
destined
true.
to happen the way it is. So you might as well just like roll with the punches, you know?
I mean, did you expect where the booth was going to be in 2 years?
Ken did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ken did.
About like
If you hear
the
like
merch too? Project U, did you
Yeah.
expect that? Wow.
not Project.
Oh yeah.
Not Project.
YouTube.
Project
Oh, but
U,
your
not
plans for Project U. You
What about
definitely, like-
YouTube? You planned for that? You like expected that?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you heard like my unrealistic goals,
I saw it. It was in your mirror.
I still believe I can reach that.
Yeah, for sure. I believe. I believe.
But yeah, back to the point. Looking straight ahead, always continue taking the first step. Even if you don't know where you're going, take a couple steps because as long as you keep moving forward, something's bound to happen.
Yeah, progress is progress at the end of the day.
Good
too.
or bad.
Good or bad.
Like think of it as like this. Let's say you're in an escalator, right? It stops midway. Why would you want to just like stay there until it gets fixed? Wouldn't you want to keep going forward and get to the top so you can just get to where
You're
need
not
to
gonna
be?
wait till it gets
Yeah.
fixed.
And it's like that Casey Neistat video where he's on that escalator in the airport, right? So it's like a 7-second clip.
It's a 7-second clip.
And
yes.
it's actually a fucking it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's stupid that it's 7 seconds.
Yes.
But basically, for those of you guys who don't know, do you remember?
Yes, Casey Neistat's on like this.
I can't like that. You know,
It stops and then he just starts running.
Yeah.
Is it a movator?
I don't know what it's called.
Yes.
It's not the.
It's
It's
the
not.
thing-
It's not a
Yes, yes,
stairs,
yes,
but it
yes,
just
yes.
moves like
It's
that.
the thing at the airport.
That's flat.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it's called. Move.
Yeah.
Movator.
It's
Like it moves.
And he was
a
just like, why
movator.
stop?
Yeah.
Keep on going. Yeah. Okay, so one thing that I started doing, because I had to like think about my behavioral patterns and how I respond to my own love languages, right? Like what love language will help me in my times of changing, right? Because essentially like what had happened was I had lost 2 people that I loved very much, right? And I was like, oh, what can I do to fill in that space? Well, I just could love myself in the way that they did. And the way that my dad used to show me his love was through the way he would speak to me. He might not have given me the positive reinforcement that I had wanted, so I did it for myself. And so I would do this thing called positive affirmations. Essentially, I thought that was the craziest thing ever. I thought that was super dumb. Like I remember watching a Matt Diavella video of him experimenting this for 30 days.
Yeah.
And it is kind of silly, but it is only silly because you might have never experienced it before.
Yeah.
Like that kind of love, you know, of words of affirmation. And so I remember immediately I was like I'm proud of you, of everything that you've been able to, you know, overcome. You deserve love. You deserve basically the shirt.
Yeah.
Literally the shirt, I wrote it before we even had the design.
Damn, manifestation.
Yeah. And I also put like, you know, I am loved. Like I am appreciated.
Yeah.
Because even though I don't hear that often, I know it's true. I just had to reaffirm that thought in my own head because a lot of negative self-talk can ruin your own image on yourself.
Wasn't that called rumination? Is that what it's called?
Yes, rumination.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. Wow. Let's go.
Wow.
Good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, that's some things that I do. And I think that's also why Project Use, or at least the shirt, is something that's meaningful to me because I get to spread that to whoever like gets to read the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't hear it enough, but at least when they read it, they hear it in their own heads and it gets repeated. You know? So
I guess since we're talking about the shirt, I guess realizing now I chose these specific words because I didn't realize it at the time I was making it. This is the shit I wanted to hear. Or I needed to hear, right? Because I've never felt like that as a kid.
Yeah.
Especially, okay, one thing pretty weird that I did as a kid or when I was younger, I didn't realize I did positive affirmations, right? Not just saying that, but this might be, I don't know, take it as you want. This might sound a little pick me.
Okay.
So, I put my hood up, bro. I feel so embarrassed for saying this.
Just say it.
So basically. Okay, so long story short, this sounds very pick me because throughout almost a good majority of my life, I've always thought I was ugly. I never had that much confidence in myself, right? I was really like, I was a downer within myself, right? So I never believed in compliments from other people. And then I got tired of like, kind of like belittling myself and how my looks. So because I want to like at least make myself feel a little better, I tell myself in the mirror, you look cute today. You look good. You know, you look, and because fashion helped me a lot, like positive affirmation, because I'd be really insecure about my fits. So whenever I put a fit together, it's like, oh, I think this works together. This looks really good on me. I like the silhouette on this, you know, and just like making positive affirmations on how I look physically.
Yeah.
And then it just like helped me a lot to become like who I am now, where I've embraced
self-confidence.
it. Yeah, it's helped a lot of my self-confidence. So that sounds a little pick me. I'm sorry. Fashion really did help me a lot to like gain my self-confidence in who I am. So now, in a sense, fashion helped me a lot where I want to return it back just by making more shit and helping people like like look better in themselves and believe in themselves a little more. So this is why the shirt is a little more meaningful on my side too, because I didn't believe in that. Now I do.
Yeah. When you said the journaling that you did, I kind of did something similar to kind of remind myself because I needed to learn to love myself the way that I was loved in relationships. And so I kind of had to do that with myself. And then instead of doing like the typical like, oh, like, you know, like I'm strong, like I'm pretty and all these things, I started being more specific, being like, what is it something about me that people noticed that they loved about me? And then I wrote down like, oh, I love when people tell me like that I make them feel safe or like heard and validated. Cause like to me, that's like, wow, like you feel safe around me to tell me about like your problems, your secrets. And then I started writing that, or like when people say like, oh, that like I light up their, you know, if they're sad, they're like, oh, thank you for talking to me because you made me like happier, you made me smile. Like those are the things that I journal about, of the things that I did, rather than, you know, it's good for the physical aspects, but what I did was like, rather than focusing on that, like I focused on like, what are the things I'm bringing like to other people, and it helped me. Yeah,
I should do that too. The fuck, I don't journal at all. Not anymore.
Maybe there was not a need to. I journaled because I was like, I got out of a relationship.
But no, I think that's really good, just because like when you say positive affirmations, like I am blah blah blah, like it's a little surface. Like it's still good. Don't get me wrong, but I like that one where it's like digressing a little more, dissecting it. Sorry, and it's like you're more appreciative of who you are.
Yeah. Wait, okay, but I want to ask, what are the things that people have said about you that you were like, if I was journaling right now, like what are the positive affirmations I could write that is specific to you?
Oh, I don't know. It's kind of I don't know.
I caught you guys off guard.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wait, what? Like what other people have said about me?
Yeah, like if let's say you were journaling right now about like the positive affirmations, but like specific to like what people said about you, like what would you write?
Oh damn. I feel like for guys it's hard.
Really?
I know what they say.
What they say?
Okay.
They say I'm tough, based off like mentally, wise at times. I've heard that from teachers. That's about it. The physical appearance stuff I don't want to get into.
Just so
Just
bogey,
Well,
man.
I don't want the physical stuff. I want like the stuff that people are like, "Oh, you make me feel safe," or
Oh,
like,
right.
"Thanks for making me feel
right,
heard."
right. Sorry.
Jeez.
Oh, regarding the podcast, we have heard so many people say that they love hearing what we have to say because we have helped them get through whatever they get through, and that they find comfort and a space to essentially be vulnerable. That they can't with their own friends. So essentially, it's like we're their best friends.
Yeah.
So I love that we get that. So there's I'm answering for both of us. There you go. Yeah.
People think I'm funny. Yeah. Hey, you asked.
See how I laugh? Because Ken's hilarious.
You know what? Because
Ken's
I
hilarious.
asked, and because you guys don't know, I'll just say what I think a lot of people will say about you.
I'm not
Based
ready
on my
I'm not ready to
perspective.
hear this.
I think with Dom, people will say like that you're really good with your words and how you like are able to comfort people. I'm not good at that at all. Like when people are like crying or like vulnerable around me, I'm like, it's okay. Like I don't know how to comfort them.
Okay, fair,
And I
fair.
think you do a really great job.
I've experienced it firsthand.
What?
When you were like, when I was going through something, and she was like, I don't know what. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry.
Starbucks.
Here's some. Anyways, and then with Ken, I think.
Oh, she has nothing, guys.
No,
Wow.
listen. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Spoke volume.
Silence is
That
loud.
was crazy.
It's fine, sir. I get it. We're
That was
beefing. We're beefing now.
crazy.
We're
No,
beefing
listen,
now.
listen.
Guys, there's
I
some
think
tea.
you, when your friends do need like, someone to listen, you really give your attention and you really hear them out. And I feel like I really appreciate that about you. Because ever since like from before, when I would just say something like, oh man, like thanks for this or whatever, and I would vent to you, you've always just listened and like gave your full attention. And I feel like not a lot of people do that. And I really appreciate that. And I can speak from your other friends too. I feel like they would say the same thing.
Damn, now this is weird now, bro.
He's
All right,
like,
now we have to give one to Sarah.
he's like, words of affirmation is not my love
I have
language.
to give
No,
one to
it
Sarah.
actually is. It's just that I haven't been, well, not complimented a lot, but it's like it's still new to me, right? It feels good. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But it's like still something I'm like trying to get like used to.
Give one to Sarah. Go.
I don't want one. No, I don't want one.
It's only fair.
No, it's okay. I don't want one.
For Sarah, one thing I think a lot of people can say is that I like how you're able to kind of like ground people.
Ooh.
That, in my opinion, that's really good because that's like the type of friends that you.
Sorry.
She thinks I'm hot. You heard the shh.
No. Grounding you. Do you get it?
No, but even yo guys,
I'm drooling.
she might have a little crush on
I
me.
drool on my shirt.
Okay, but yeah.
Did you get what you mean?
Okay, but in my opinion, I would say ever since this friendship and small time we've known you, I do appreciate you being really honest. It's not just like fabricated like advice or opinions. It's like the truth, which a lot of people do need to hear, and that's kind of like what I like. And it's good because it shows that you're able to voice it and really you're coming from a place of love to help other people get better. That's the way I see it, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Oh. Words of affirmation is my love language, so I'm eating this up.
I would say that Sarah is, even though she says she doesn't know how to comfort people, I think she's very present and there for people. She gives people a great space of comfort. Like, I remember we were in the car and like she was helping some of our friends and she was asking them questions that can kind of like, slice off a little bit of the layers of their onions,
Where guys would just dig it.
Oh yeah, dude, we're bad at that.
You guys were so quiet, I remember.
Yeah, you were handling the situation fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also felt like we had no place in terms of like what we could say. Like they were not ready for whatever we had to say.
Yeah.
Our advice is, just different. It's just different.
No, they don't want advice. That's the thing. They want
Exactly.
someone to listen.
Like him and I were like prepared to give advice. Like, wait, this is not.
This is not.
We'll let her handle it because we're gonna be bad at it.
I remember texting Ken. I was like, "Yeah, this is a girls' talk. This is not for us right now."
in a good way. In a good way.
I'm glad we read the room.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, I didn't at first because I was like, "You guys want to play Wii?" Like, I was so ready to just distract everybody.
I told you, read the room, bro. And you're like, I am.
Do you guys want?
I was like, yeah, I am, because like we can do something fun. Like you guys are.
I didn't think they want that.
Because we were stuck in the car. Like I wanted to leave.
Fair, that's fair.
But anyways, I feel like the next step in terms of like when it comes to change is like you got to learn how to be grateful for the things that didn't change. Does that make sense?
You have to be grateful for the things you have.
Yeah. Like, because there's a lot of things that you take for granted.
Yeah.
And taking the time to just be thankful for those simple things makes your life that much better. Like, I remember like hearing Ken be grateful for just appreciating some of the smallest things. And I was like, this guy is a lunatic.
Thank you.
Respectfully. And
I'll take it either way.
Give an example.
Oh, like, I don't know, just like he'll be out and it's like raining. He's like, oh, I love it. Like, I just love this rain. Like, it's so nice. It just calms me. I don't know, like, just shit like that. I was like, dude, what? Like, what are you saying? And I'm just like, that's my own, like, opinion. So, obviously, there's some people that do like the rain and it gives them comfort. But, like, I just remember thinking, like, that's crazy talk. But then once, like, I had my own little healing stage, I was looking at all the little things in a more optimistic like light,
like rose colored glasses.
Because I feel like when you're growing up, you push away all the little things that made you happy as a kid. Like when the sun was out or when the sun was setting, or the sun was rising, like you just little things like that. When the birds are chirping, I remember like, you'd think that after a breakup, you'd be like super like ill love, like I hate that shit. But like I remember being at a Starbucks and I saw this one guy like ask for this girl's number at like right in front of me. I was like, and they shared this like laugh, the smile, and this guy got her number. And I was just like super happy. I was like, damn, go with them. Like love always wins at the end of the day. Like little things like that, where it's just like you get to be happy of like just people being happy.
Yeah.
You don't have to just necessarily be, oh, I'm not happy, so whatever is around me is like ew.
You weren't bitter.
Yeah, I wasn't bitter. I was like happy for other things going right.
Yeah.
And then that way I could be thankful for my own life because eventually, things will go my way, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you gotta be appreciative of like all the little things. Like talking about the rain thing, I was talking to my friend about it like a couple of days ago or weeks ago.
So I was right. I wasn't just making that up.
No.
Right.
Oh my God.
Because I thought I pulled that from my ass. I'm be honest, guys.
Wow, you don't
No.
know your
No, I
best
do
friend.
remember it.
When you did say it, you had a pretty good imitation, and I can vividly remember Ken being like, "Oh my gosh, it's raining."
like you could see Ken saying.
Yeah, I could really imagine you that if he was pulling out of his ass, that's really good writing because it's based on
True events.
like literally the first few months of me and Ken's like friendship, I did impersonate him at a party.
Oh, I remember that. That was fucking funny.
It was too spot on. Like everyone was dying.
Yeah, but yeah, back to the rain thing. Like me and my friend were talking about it, talking about the rain, talking about snow, and like we were talking like we're being appreciative of like small things in life. Cause dude, when during the snow, like when I walk home from Dom's, it's like really packed, right? I'd be running in the snow at 3 a.m. and I'd be laughing, I'd be happy, dancing, or just singing out loud. I'm like, this shit is so much fun.
Damn.
There's so many videos that Ken has sent me when it was like a huge snow day, and he would be laying in the back of his apartment, like near the garbage area, just in the big pile of snow, just being like, I love this. Like,
dude, it's so much fun just appreciating every single thing. Because in a sense, what I do, I don't know if you guys do it, but a lot of people on TikTok do it. But I did it before TikTok, so I'm not trying to say I'm like a trendsetter.
oh,
But anyways, I like romanticizing my life.
yeah.
Yes.
Literally the smallest things ever, right? When I walk downtown, I'm appreciative of like just me being able to breathe. When I go biking, right? I remember hitting myself with, yo, I'm biking. I have legs. I can breathe, right? Like I love biking. That's one of my favorite things. Just walking in general. A lot of my friends don't like walking. Anyways.
I think he meant to say it there.
Don't point,
no.
This is for the both of us.
This is for both of them.
Listen, once you drive, you'll understand.
I driving or not, I still love walking.
That's
I will
true.
walk
That's
anywhere.
true. Ken would.
Do you walk places now? Do you walk to work?
No.
I've walked from Lawrence to Finch.
But
you-
Ken would walk. Ken would drive to a place where he can hike.
yes.
Like that is a thing Ken would do.
That's
Yes.
true.
So
But yeah, like literally smallest things ever. Just like romanticizing my life. It brings me joy just knowing like I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, there might be shit going on in my life, but like the fact that I'm able to like just like live and actually be present in this, it's amazing because I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I do something similar when you said like, oh, like I'm grateful for. You're basically grateful for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Sunsets. I would look out my window. In the summertime, the sunsets. I just look out the window. I'm like, God, I'm so grateful for the sunset. Like this is so pretty. Thank
Snapchats.
you for.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's Instagram
everyone
story.
posts about the sunsets, which is fine because it's so
Yeah.
pretty. And I'm like even if I miss it, I'm just like, God, it's so pretty. And I'm just like on Instagram looking at everyone's like stories. But yeah, like
Streaks.
and also I think what helped me a lot was like when I was dealing with like change of like with my breakup or just like with anything is having a gratitude like morning prayer. And I know the thing is I don't pray often. Like it's literally because I think I have like a very complicated relationship with religion.
Yeah.
But when I do, it's never praying for like wanting something. It's always just gratitude. It's like
Yeah.
I'm thankful for like the food on the table, the clothes on my back, the roof over my head. And then like I like say my family and friends and like I'm praying for like everyone basically. And at the end of it, it's like, oh, I have everything I need and what is for me will find me. And then that's it. I just end the prayer and then I start my day. And I think that's
Sorry. I do something similar to that. Usually the first thing I do when I wake up, I thank God, like, thank you for letting me be alive.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing I usually say, like out loud or just like in my head. It's like, just knowing I'm waking up, I'm like, yo, I'm fucking alive, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go have a good ass day, even though sometimes it doesn't become a good day, but make the best out of it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a specific song that I play, which I think you love the song. J. Cole, Love Yours.
Love your
That song. I used to
that's
play
better
that,
than
or I
yours.
still play that like every morning just to get some sort of like gratitude for the life I have because anyone else, there's other people for sure that would kill to have the life that I live. So gotta be grateful for what you got, right? So
Another thing I do when things are changing is like I try to do something that is normal to me. Because if you think about it, everything else is changing and I have to revert back to what I do on a daily. So for me, that's like making coffee in the morning. It's like a process that I often do. And I take my time with it. And, you know, like even though things are going crazy, it's like when I make my morning coffee and then when I actually drink it and I enjoy it and I just reflect, it kind of grounds me in a way because I'm doing something I'm familiar with and I'm used to while everything else is changing.
I like that word, familiarity. Familiar. Because I used to do that. You used to. Okay. I used to go to the gym like 5:30, 5 a.m. and like consistently for a good couple amount of months. Right. And while my life was changing, that's the only thing I always had, the gym. The gym is like what kept me like grounded and sane. It's like having that sort of routine because I know I always have to do it. Because there were times where like me and Dom would chill till like 12, 1 a.m. Regardless of how many hours of sleep I'd get, I'd still go at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Because that thing was like, I needed that. I needed that to ground myself and make sure it's like, I'm still me. I still have this routine. As long as I have this, I can still work with everything else, right? This was the only like stable thing that was happening. Does that make sense? Like stable as in good stability, right? But yeah, like the gym. Thank you to the gym. That's a thank you to the gym. I love the gym. I need to get back on my 5 a.m. schedule though. Cause I go at night, bro. I get so tired. I'm like, I miss waking up early. I'm gonna start, redoing my schedule because school started and it's tough. It's fucking tough. But yeah, what do you guys do? Well, what's like normal to you that you do while like your whole life is changing?
I feel like I want to say that what I used to do, but I don't do it anymore, which is why it kind of sucks. Like I used to do it so often where I would just go to Starbucks, do my journaling, do my reading, and then go to the gym and then go to work. Like that was and then after work, train. Like I had that stuck for like 2-3 months straight. And that was like beautiful to me because like it's like, oh, what are you going to do today? Oh yeah, we know what we're going to do today. Even though this big life-changing event had happened, I can still revert back to what feels normal to me, and I don't have to like be crazy. Like I don't have to feel so overwhelmed with all these different thoughts coming into my brain, like, oh, you're not growing, or you're not healing, or whatever it might be, because I was doing all these things in regards to me healing, me growing, becoming a better version of myself. Even though it was routine is a great way of just like having a consistent like way of progressing as a person. Right? Like whether that is waking up at 5:30 in the morning, it's, you know, it's still important to do that every single day, because it's better than losing your day.
Yeah.
Right? There's always a brighter side to everything that you do. And so it's like I just have to tug on to that and just think that whatever I do, I'm 1% better than the guy yesterday.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Which is what normalcy brought to me, you know? Because if I just thought about all the things that was going wrong and that could have went wrong, well, then I wasn't looking forward, like we said way back, right, in the podcast. So, yeah. How about you, Sarah? Anything else other than just making coffee?
Honestly, I feel like, because that's one thing that I do every day, because I get so sleepy with my meetings. And so I would make a coffee to keep me awake with my meetings at 1 p.m. But I think, another normal thing that I think I kept up with, like even when things were changing, was like I would have dinner with my parents. Like every night, whatever they were having, even if like I wasn't eating, I would just sit with them. And then we kind of would just like talk about like what's happening. And that's like what's normal to me, because it was the only time I really got to sit down and eat with them, because they wake up super early for work. And so that's the only time I really got to see them. And like that is really nice and grounding, because it feels like even if I don't get to see them the whole day and like we're all working, it's like that's the one day that we're all together. And like my sister and my brother would be there sometimes too, so it's like just like a family dinner essentially, like every night.
That sounds very comforting. I just realized I haven't had like a family dinner in a while.
Wait, what'd you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah, I had that. Right?
Okay.
But what I mean is like
A regular
not
day.
not like
Without
regular
needing
day.
it to be an event or anything.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I work and I close sometimes. I close at like 8:00, 8:30. Right, so I'll be home by like 9:30 by the time, and they've already had like dinner. It's like okay, I'm just eating alone, right? But now
Your mouse
family dinners,
moments.
yeah, you should. I mean, just because we're family, talking about going back to gratefulness. Be grateful for your family, and just small little things. We're just eating dinner. But that sounds very comforting, right? Because just that little moment, just sharing it, because you know you have a lot of shit going on throughout the day. Damn, I slurred that. A lot of shit happening throughout the day. The family dinner, the end of the night, just casual talk, catching up, or just anything. It's just very comforting. So be more appreciative of your family, guys. Especially since Thanksgiving just passed for Canadians. You know, I guess we can talk about that. But yeah, having a routine is very important because it creates discipline.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like you were talking, well, like, you know, with your routine, I feel like you were very disciplined if you followed through that, like all throughout July, you said?
Yeah. Straight.
Oh my God.
Because like it's not like there was anything planned. Like I just was like, I mean, if there was anything planned, it was the podcast, or it was just like one day outing. But like your boy didn't have too many friends during the time, so he was just, you know, he had to.
You have many now.
It's grown.
It's growing. You know,
You gained one.
in a way, it was like I was trying to just love myself so I can like actually love others. The way that, you know, I had to take a step back from all my friends. But I feel like doing the whole normalcy and finding a routine, just doing whatever feels normal to you, can also help with breakups. Sarah touched upon this, and I have my own version of that story, where it's like, for example, if you're so used, like, so when I was going through a breakup in high school, I had talked about it with my leadership teacher, and she's like, what are some things that you miss? Do you miss like the late night calls? What is it? Because, for example, she missed her late night calls with her boyfriend. And so what she would do is she would talk to her sister for like late night calls, because that's what her sense of normalcy was that she used to do with her ex now. And so she filled that gap with doing it with her sister. Yeah. So she would catch up, and, you know, it also builds that relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And so whatever felt normal and was something that you would do with your partner, it's a great thing to somehow replace that and feed that love for yourself.
Yeah.
I think you had an example with like Marvel and like.
Oh my God. I saw that on like, I think the Harper, I don't know if we did a Harper episode,
We
but
did not, we
basically,
did not.
this is what I did was what felt normal to me. What felt normal to me at the time was with the people I was seeing, like in my roster or exes, they loved Marvel. And so in order to occupy the time that I spent with them and to try to get over them, I basically watched the Marvel movies in the timeline, like in order. And then I told myself that by the time I finish it, I have to be over the guy. And I was actually. I watched, probably I wasn't even finished halfway through it. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even like him anymore. And like, I was over it. But I really fell in love and I loved the Marvel series and I just kept going. So yeah, so shout out to my ex and all those other guys.
Oh, because it's just like memory, right? It's talking about, you know, like you said, you got really into Marvel and just like to get over it. I did not realize until now. It just like hit me. Basically, back in grade 9, I believe, I was talking to this one girl who happened to be like one of Dom's best friends.
Okay.
Okay, and
You
then
gotta tell me who later because I want to know.
It's okay. Long story short, about that, it's like he said, "Oh, if you ever break your heart,
Oh,
that girl, right?" Basically, she was really into sneakers. I wasn't, but because I wanted to know more about it, I got really into it, right? So I tested myself on which J's is what.
Oh,
I knew the colorways and shit.
You know what's crazy is I did the same.
Oh,
thing,
thank God,
dude.
thank God.
Oh
Okay,
God.
anyways, and after
Did you also have a crush on this girl?
No, I had a crush on a different girl.
best friend.
The best friend.
Anyways,
That's crazy. The best friends and then the best friend.
yeah. So, anyways, so after we just like she ghosted me, right? I was still into sneakers. I'm like, because of her, just like getting over her. It's like I really dove more into sneakers, and it made me go through a little hype beast thingy. But I became more appreciative of that. It's like I loved it more, and then it essentially became integrated into like my style. I mean, now I'm kind of done with that reseller sneaker shit, whatever. I'm like somewhere else in terms of style. But yeah, it's like I didn't realize it was through that. It's like I was able to get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a cool story.
It's
Thanks for
funny.
sharing.
It's funny.
What is something that you do to help you when things are changing in your life?
Comfort.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like for me, I literally watch the same like movies because it gives me comfort. And I don't know if it's because of seasonal affective disorder. That's something that tends to happen in the winter times.
Yeah,
Do you want me to elaborate on that?
What the fuck is that?
So
I've actually never heard of this.
basically, okay, it's
Is it like seasonal depression?
kind of, yeah. So that's like the term for it, but it's like SAD, it's sad. It's so funny because it's like you get sad.
Oh, I shouldn't be laughing.
It's okay, but you get sad, and I like comfort movies because that's like what's familiar. And the reason why people watch comfort movies, I think, is because they already know what the ending is. So in a way,
basically,
like it's nothing new. And when things are changing, you want to be able to know and predict what's happening. So you tend to lean to like comfort movies,
comfort shows.
Yeah, and for me, that's Filipino movies.
Oh, I was like, okay, wait. It's because what's your favorite Filipino movie? Just because we're on that.
Any Kathy Garcia Molina film.
Yeah.
Mine would be
Who I'm related to, by the way.
I think one of my favorites would be
Which one? Who I'm related to. Oh my God! Here we go again. He said he's related to Kathy Garcia Molina, but he's really related through marriage. So like, really.
Second, and
You're related through marriage, which is not the same thing as being like you're like, oh, she's a great director. It's like,
hey.
I'm not saying you can't be great.
Stars aligning, you know. That's all it is, man.
Okay, but what's yours? What's your favorite Filipino movie?
Because I can't remember the name of this one, I'm gonna say this one.
Describe it, and then we'll guess.
No, because I completely forgot. I just know the pictures.
Who's in it?
I don't know names.
Okay, picture. Go.
Anyways,
picture.
but I was no. Okay, fuck. What am I saying?
How is it your favorite movie, but you can't describe
I'm
it?
dating a gangster.
Oh, she's dating a
dating a
gangster
gangster.
with Catherine Bernardo and Daniel
Yes,
Padilla.
yes. Honestly, it's just a
That is
fun,
good.
really joyful film.
That is a really good
know?
pick. Oh, I respect that. Yeah,
and
good
I like
job.
how like they travel to like get to the airport, and they're just recreating the bonds, and you see them falling in love without them knowing it. It's just so nice. It's so like, what's the word?
Nostalgic.
Nostalgia. But what's the Filipino word? It's like, kilig.
Oh,
It
kilig.
gets me kilig, whatever that
Kilig.
means. I forgot what that means.
You get the butterflies in your stomach.
Yes. It makes me go, ay!
Makes you giddy.
Yeah,
Giddy.
that's the word. That's the word.
better,
English
yeah.
term.
Even though there isn't supposed to be a direct translation, but I think giddy is a good closer.
Every time it's ever been translated, it's
Giddy
giddy.
is always giddy. What's your favorite Filipino movie?
I think it's called Every Day I Love You.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Liz Ken
Oh,
with Liza Soberano and Enrique Hill and Gerald Anderson.
yes, it's the one where she's like she's vlogging every
vlogging,
day
yeah.
because her lover, which is Gerald Anderson at the time,
Is
is
in
in
a
a coma, and then they fall in love, like filming all of this. Like I think
Her TV show.
her TV show, yeah. And then he wakes up from his coma.
Yep. Dude,
Oh,
that
that's a good
one.
one.
I have
that
to
one,
watch that.
That one, yo.
Not even
devastating.
the one I showed you.
Oh no, that one's definitely like
Top.
up. It's top. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like favorite, like you know what I'm
Favorite,
saying.
yeah, fair.
That's not that one. I didn't want to be biased. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Well,
But
okay,
yeah.
because we're on topic like that. What's your favorite comfort show?
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your
For
Mother.
you
only,
guys.
only because like
Actually-
as much as people hate the ending of how I'm gonna put this, I don't give a fuck. As much as people hate the ending of How I Met Your Mother, it's the most realistic ending to how life is. Life is unexpected. Like life just happens, right? And they really showcase that in the 45 seconds episode.
Poor explanation.
Basically,
I'm very sorry.
we'll
Oh
see
my
how-
gosh, I think I've seen this episode.
Basically, Ted has a whole hallucination of what the day was, but essentially he was thinking of the past because it was what was comfortable for him. And he wasn't happy with how everyone else in his life was changing. And so he went to a place of comfort, which was just like how it was when their friends used to hang out all the time. And so he was just in this like really depressive state of just like, oh, like nothing's going for me. And what I want is not coming yet, but I know it happens in 45 days.
Yeah.
But I can't have that time just yet because I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And that episode just shows you that like life isn't always what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everyone changes. Everyone grows out of, relationships and friendships and all this other stuff. And whether you like it or not, everything is inevitable. And you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And once life does come your way, then you can actually really be grateful for the great fruits of that sacrifice, And so that's why How I Met Your Mother is my comfort show.
You're actually wrong about my comfort show. As much as I love How I Met Your Mother, my actual comfort show, just because they don't have it anymore, or it's not on Netflix anymore for Canada, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince.
I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Listen, I've memorized a song. I love all the episodes. The reason why it's my comfort show is because, like, growing up as a kid, seeing that, I felt like I was the embodiment of Will. Or, like, everyone else was kind of, like, serious with their lives.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just there, like, I'm me, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck.
You're just having fun.
Yeah, I was just having. I literally, I still do it. I still believe that I'm still kind of like being that person,
Yeah.
right? Where literally I don't give a fuck about what I do,
Yeah.
right? It's like I'm out here to have fun with my life,
Yeah.
and I'm still making progress in what I want to do, and it's just like it's working out,
Right.
I'm having fun doing what I love, and essentially that's where kind of like where he got him, and the greatest episodes are to me from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is when he's having a lot of fun, but then he needs to be grounded, right? And then it reflects onto like you guys, where you guys ground me. I'm like, man, that's like the show.
Yeah.
It's like when I have a little too much fun, it's like they're like, yo, Ken, listen,
Chillax.
Listen.
yeah,
Intervention.
yeah, and
Intervention,
it always gave me like the fatherly advice with Uncle Phil that I needed,
Oh my god.
right? So it was like a home hitter. It was the first show to ever make me
Home
cry.
hitter.
That's why it was like one of my comfort shows.
Did you cry at the episode? With
Oh yeah,
your
I know.
dad?
Before you even finish the sentence, yes, I fucking cried.
To hell with him.
Damn with him.
How about you, sir? What's your comfort show?
I feel like I don't even have time to watch shows right now. It's kind of sad.
All right. Better question.
But
oh,
but if I had one that I'm watching right now, I think I put you on.
Right.
It's kind of my comfort show because one of the characters I resonate with. And I think that's why with comfort shows, it's like you see yourself in Will.
Yeah.
There's just one character in the OC, Summer, with it like this.
What's the OC?
Summer. It's called.
It stands for
Orange County. Yeah,
it's
the
called
OC.
OC. It
It's
stands
like
for
Orange County. But basically, like, I think that's my comfort show because it's one of those where I think each character is so like fleshed out and like they have their own, struggles and they're so unique. And then one character like describes how I am, which I don't really see in like a lot of movies. Like the way her personality is, and the way she's like bubbly and how she acts. I just like, it just brings me comfort that like I'm like normal. Like me being unique is normal, and it's like, like it's not weird. So yeah, I think that's my comfort show. Aside from shows, what else do you do for comfort?
I eat my favorite meal. Like I eat my comfort food. You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
Wait.
Wait, what?
It's that, right?
It is.
Yeah.
That.
Wait, what did you just do?
Twin
Twin telepathy.
Yes.
Say what it was.
Say it at the same time to see if you guys are right. And I'm gonna get to there. Wait. I'll count. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
The fry.
McDonald's.
Oh shit.
Comfort food, man.
Yeah, but that's also your. Wait, we always called it that, not this.
No, I know.
The fry,
I know.
McDonald's.
I know, but like, that's like, if I'm having a good time. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's like
Okay.
comfort. That's like
Comfort food with people. This is like comfort food alone.
Guys, we're not actually best friends. We're just it's just for the podcast.
Damn,
it's just
bro.
for the podcast.
I'm cutting that out.
I was so confident in that answer.
No,
bro.
I know you were. I knew you were gonna say that though.
So if you knew, why didn't you?
Because I thought maybe for some reason you'd still get it.
Because we've always ranted about how disgusting and how much we hate McDonald's.
Yes, McDonald's is gross.
But it's literally our comfort food. Think
Fair
about
enough.
it.
Mine,
It's been our comfort food.
mashed potatoes.
Oh, you said Swiss chalet, no?
Mashed potatoes from Swiss Chalet.
Yeah. But you can't say McDonald's too.
My
No,
comfort
please,
food.
don't say McDonald's.
It is though. Is it not?
It's changed so much.
Okay, fair enough. I think whichever food like I'm craving in terms of like what's resonating with me at the time. Like recently, I just been going to Bourbon St. Gros because like it reminds me of high school.
I fucking missed that place.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my god.
You think he was gonna judge you? You're like, thank God.
Because like I feel like I'm the only one that says that about
okay.
that place right now. Yeah.
No. Okay, but if I were to choose my comfort food that isn't McDonald's, it would be Asian gourmet. Because I love the orange chicken. I grew up on that shit. And anything that has to do with just rice and chicken, Asian wise,
True.
it's like, whoo, slaps.
Jimmy the Greek. I like Jimmy the Greek.
It's okay.
Okay. Well.
I only get it if I want to be healthy. I'll get
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I think like that's good. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't like unhealthy food.
Fair.
Yeah.
I feel like if anyone from high school knows me, they would have said KFC.
Oh yeah.
I had that every
Tuesday.
Tuesday every day. Every day was Tuesday. If we're gonna be honest. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
What else do you do for comfort though? Other than that, are there anything else?
For comfort wise, let's say, this.
Well, mine is like the music I listen to.
Oh, I was about to say that. Yeah, go.
Right, like if I know I'm going through a wave of sadness, I'm gonna listen to all the sad songs I got.
Yeah.
Or if I'm trying to get into like a state of like productivity, like being able to be comfortable in doing things, lo-fi. Like lo-fi is
yeah.
Or brown noise. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
This one's different to me.
No, listen, trust me, brown noise, it sounds like you're in an airplane and like, I don't know, I just concentrate on it.
Like, you know how there's white noise?
No.
Brown noise, yeah.
I just haven't heard of brown noise yet.
I will put
actually like listen to it. Sorry.
Right.
I'll play it on
It's
there.
different, bro. It's totally different. When
I don't like any of like those noise, you know what I mean? No, okay, what I mean by
What did you just say?
Okay. Anything that's like
noise.
Okay, like
what? It's a nickname.
Let me explain.
What?
It made sense in my head. Okay.
Don't tell me to breathe.
Anyway, what I mean by
Ken.
noise is what I mean like if it ends in noise, like white noise, brown noise, there's blue noise, pink noise, whale noise.
He's like judging the book by its cover.
No, because I've listened to white noise. I don't like it.
Okay, but this is a difference. Brown noise.
What's the difference?
It's different. Okay, anyways, what song do you listen to?
Oh yeah. Okay. I actually have
Do you have a comfort artist?
Yes, I do. Let me tell you my routine of what I do for comfort.
Sorry.
Oh, he has a self-care routine. Okay, go.
Yeah. So basically, let's say I'm just like a little down, just like really tired, or when I'm burnt out, right? The routine that I always do: close my door, close the lights, burn an incense or light up a candle, and then I listen to jazz music.
Whoa.
I mostly just listen to like Louis Armstrong, and then I
Nice.
just lay down on my bed, just like listening. I open up the blinds or the curtains. Hopefully it's like dark. I usually like to when it's dark. Yeah, dude.
Okay.
This is when I'm down, or just when I'm just like really tired.
Yeah.
I just listen to it off my phone, do not disturb, throw it away, lying down on my bed, just hearing the music, and it's just like jazz is always a vibe. It always or even piano music, anything instrumental or anything with Louis Armstrong, it calms my nerves down, and it helps me greatly because then I'm just like relaxed. I just in a state of peace. Yeah. That's my comfort routine. What about you guys?
So when I get anxious and I need to like listen to music because I'm freaking out, I have like an anxiety playlist.
Oh,
And like the first song is like, it's called By the Docs. And I think it's just like I found it because when I was getting my wisdom tooth out, my dentist said to listen to relaxing music. So I Googled it on Spotify, or I searched it up on Spotify.
what is relaxing music?
No, yeah, I just put relaxing music. That was the first one that played.
Yeah.
And I remember like I felt so comfortable when I was listening to it because I was also on drugs that would like,
That's so wrong now.
or was also on drugs because they were getting my wisdom teeth out.
911?
I've always just found comfort in like that first song that played
Yeah.
because I knocked out right after. But it's that song By the Docs on Spotify, and then after that it's like Be Alright by Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
That's always a bop because it's like she's like saying we're gonna be all right, and I'm like yeah we are, and then that's like what makes me feel comfortable. Why are you laughing?
Because I have one. You ready?
Okay.
Pitbull. For those going through hard times. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Nah. But like mine was like also like I told Ken already. Like Logic has been my comfort artist, just because like I don't know, he does a lot of songs about his own mental health and his struggles. So like knowing that there's an artist that actually says like these things, talks about how stigmatized it is.
Yeah.
It does open up a conversation, allows me to be vulnerable through rap. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
But recently, Joshua Bassett.
Oh yeah, you've been playing that a lot.
I just love him, dude. I love Joshua Bassett. All the Olivia stans, amen. He's a good guy. I swear to God, he is.
He converted.
No, I'm the divorced kid that just wants both to reunite. You know what I'm saying?
And for the viewers out there, the listeners, if you have any comfort shows, movies, or anything you do for comfort, comment down below because we'd like to know. You guys just kind of heard our answers. If you haven't yet, just rewind a little bit. But yeah, let us know. Comment down below.
Okay, so what song do you think this episode describes? Since we've talked about.
Shout out to I believe it was JT who mentioned this or told us to kind of do this. Where add a song at the end of the episode that kind of matches the theme.
Hey man, what song are you listening to?
I'm listening to Now or Never by Kendrick Lamar featuring Mary J. Blige. But yeah, that song is fucking amazing. If you guys want to take a listen to it, it's right here. Now or Never, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige from Good Kid, Mad City album. It's the exclusive, by the way. And yeah, that song's like, it goes like, it basically talked about how it's now or never, you should make it. It's like a make or break, but you'll believe you're gonna like make it,
My song, honestly, I do listen to the song though. Change by J. Cole.
Valid.
It's if you really listen to the lyrics, it does correlate with like the topic.
Yeah.
Like exactamundo, bro.
Okay, I have mine. So this is what I listened to like when I was going through my breakup. It's called Besting by Inaya.
But yeah, to end things off tonight, we have the giveaway winner, which we're actually about to
Right,
do.
I completely forgot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna
do
draw
this.
the giveaway winner for Project U.
And the winner for the first Project U giveaway is, drumroll please, is
winner, Gangyo. Oh, Allison.
Allison.
Oh, damn. Yo, congrats, Allison.
Congrats,
You
Allison.
won the shirt. that we're currently wearing.
Not this one, a brand new one, of course.
We'll reach out to you.
Thank you to everybody who did enter, and hopefully you guys will still purchase a shirt even though you guys didn't win the giveaway, because
actually we're in about like 3 hours or so, we're actually dropping the shirt. So the website's dropping. Just letting you guys know.
It is a limited drop right now.
Yes.
So do get your shirts in.
Yeah, so we can ship it out to you guys faster.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, that's been the booth, episode 59, I believe, on why you should, how this is how we embrace change, how we define change. Sorry, I forgot the topic already. Anyways, but yeah, hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, whatsoever, leave them down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tune into our Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, 5 stars, please. It goes a long way. Very choppy outro, but hope you guys have a good day. Thank
Links
you.
in the
Peace.
bio.
Yes, good night. It's been the booth. Peace. That's the outro. I fucking forgot.
What are you guys still doing on the video? Click out. Right away. What he said. Hi. Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. I was wearing a hat too.